Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Real Life Podcast. I'm Elizabeth here with Dr. Katie Eastman. How are you? How's the week?
I'm doing well. I have been just dealing with life, real life stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, I think that's the feedback that we got. So we did our first show last week, not knowing what people were going to say or do, and it turns out about 1,000+ people watched, and so we got some really good comments. And that's what we're here to be, is relatable to your real life, which we've got plenty of things brewing in the background of our real lives. I don't know about you, but it's been a busy week. We had Cam come home. Cam and Olivia come home from Germany. Cam's been over in Germany playing baseball for the year. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but they were at her family's house for a while after they got back, and now they're here. And so I've got they went to Starbucks for me and got me a mug from Germany, and
Nice.
super cute. So anyway, yeah, but it's a hand warmer. I don't know about you, but it's 40 some degrees. I'm freezing. So
oh yeah, it started to rain this morning. I live in the Northwest, as you know, and of course we just dread the rain, but it comes and you just get used to it and you snuggle up, because that's what you do. When you can't change something, you figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah, you do. And it's snowing up in the mountains here. So
oh wow.
Yeah, it's a little early for snow for me, but anyway. So how about in the background, I'm trying to tell everybody kind of what we've been doing. We've been writing a new book proposal, which has been fun to kind of go through and stuff like that. But as we were writing, and who knows what's going to happen with it? We don't know. We have no idea, but we're working on it, right? We're putting our best effort forward. But I said, oh my God, we got to hold on tight to our dream. You got to listen to this song, Katie, by Electric Light Orchestra. I love the song, Hold On Tight to Your Dreams. And you're like, oh, goodness. I wanted to play it, and I'm like, I don't know if we have the rights or whatever. So I was going to play it right now. And I'm like, I'll just skip it. But yes, but you apparently have an ELO story.
Oh, I do. I have a great ELO story. So I was in high school, and I was, believe it or not, sitting by this really beautiful swimming place that a lot of people went to. It was a quarry. And I was reading, of all things, the Bible. And this guy comes up and he goes, oh, you're reading the Bible? He goes, oh, Jesus, he's a good shit. And I went, what? And I was like, he's a what? And so we had this great conversation. But long story short, we ended up going to an ELO concert in Montreal. And he ended up staying at the border because he brought a little something with him that you're not supposed to bring across the border. And the rest of us were like, you dumb idiot, And I mean, you don't do that with going across any border. And this fool did it. And we were like, see ya, we're going to the concert. I don't know you. So end of that, but it was pretty funny. It was like, yeah, Jesus, he's a good shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So anyway, Electric Light. So I keep putting Electric Light Orchestra on my Instagram, and there's kids like going, "What song is that? What song is that?" I'm like, yeah,
it's a great song, and it was a great concert. But I will just never forget meeting that. And it's just that's so real life. You meet people and they come into your life and you have these interesting conversations with you, and you might do something with them and then they're out of your life. And
maybe. Okay.
You've come in for a reason, spent time with you, but onward you go. And, anyway, it was one of my fun stories of ELO. It's great.
So what else is happening over there?
Well, I think one of the things that you and I wanted to talk about today is health and real life health stuff that happens. And as a woman, a lot of women don't talk about what's really going on. So I had a conversation with a friend, and it was a really enlightening conversation because she's young. She's your age. And she was really distraught because she was newly diagnosed with some hereditary conditions that she just feels way too young to have.
Yeah.
And she's in incredible health. She's an athlete. There are all kinds of things that would say, why am I getting this? And it really begged the question for everyone to consider. It's like, well, what do you do when those diagnoses come up? Because they do as you get older. And how do you handle it? And we had this great conversation about, yeah, we had the part of saying this really sucks, and I have chronic pain that I have different times, and she has stuff, and we just said, at least we have the information. You can look at a health diagnosis as, I have new information that my body's giving me that tells me that I need to address something. What if we didn't get the information? That's what our mothers went through.
Excuse me.
They didn't have the information we have. They got diagnosed with stuff that they couldn't turn around. Well, we have lots of time, and they didn't have it. And so we really talked about how important it is that at a very young age, you start having medical appointments and you start learning about your medical history, and you don't take it for granted. And when stuff comes up, that you take the attitude of, okay, well, what can I do about it?
Yeah.
And, you whine and complain I do this. I have a whine. Yeah. I set the timer. I say, okay, I got 24 hours to whine. And I like feel sorry for myself, and I argue, I'm really mad about it. And then I say, okay, done now. What can I do about it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not without my own health issues.
Yeah.
I have life-threatening food allergies on board. So I have a health issue in every moment, actually, that we're navigating when you eat food or whatever you're doing. And I've almost been, kind of taken out by it twice. But, I think that for our purposes and things like that, one of the conversations that's underlying here is, how do you feel successful, when you have other things at play in the background and you feel like you're the only one who has it.
Yeah.
I felt that way so many times. Like, I am the only one who is not achieving this or that because of XYZ.
Yeah.
And especially, sorry, my throat. I've been teaching today, and so my throat's a little squirrely. So I have water over here and decaf coffee over here. So hopefully I won't cough again. But especially like for me, when I had migraines, like clockwork, through my 30s and 40s, with small children also, so I have small children and a migraine. I'm like, how do people navigate this? Having a job, having a migraine, having kids, having dinner to be made, having homework to be done, having a husband, having, 10 different things going on in the course of a day while you've got something debilitating happening to you. And so that can be as simple as a cold, and you've got responsibilities that you're trying to attend to, and you're like, how do people manage that? It could be something on board with you, something chronic, whatever it is. It's frustrating. It strips you of your confidence sometimes.
Yeah, sure. It really can. And we're taught. I remember my mother saying to me, "You look too happy. You must not be working hard enough." And what does that do to your self-esteem? And then when you have these times when you can't be productive, like for me, it's when I get these chronic pain bouts and I'm on the couch because I can't move. And so I find myself playing that tape too. And finally, what we were talking about yesterday is that's a story we've created. And it's something that got passed on that we allowed ourselves to believe in, but I'm changing the tape. I mean, yeah, that shows how old I am. Yeah, I said tape, but I'm changing the story. I'm rewinding because I don't want to believe that. I want to say that when my body needs help, it needs help. Yeah. And I can do the best I can with attending to the responsibilities I have and be okay with what I'm able to do. And that's got to be good enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes good enough is enough. And we don't always have to excel, and we don't always have to be great, and we don't always have to be our best. We're our best under the circumstances that we have.
Yeah. And I think it's so hard for people to do, and to really actually get in there and redefine success for yourself personally and professionally based on whatever you have going on. To be, that's what best ever you is, to be your best ever you. You're going to be your best. I'm going to be my best. And it's going to be moment to moment. And you might not feel your best in some moments. So let's go here for a minute, because I've thought about this a lot. What do you do when you feel your absolute worst in a moment?
Oh,
I
well,
think it's important because I think people feel that way. I think people feel terrible sometimes. I think they're afraid to say it, especially with social media parading everybody's greatness around and filters and whatever.
mhm,
And the just this idea that people feel well, it's not even really an idea, it's probably a fact. People feel alone. They feel like it's only them. They feel like it's not going to get any better. That you just feel you you lose track. It's almost like a disconnect. I used to say when I would get migraines that it would feel like I'm getting derailed.
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm going at Mach speed or whatever speed I'm doing, productive, doing all these things. And
Yep,
then I'd start to be like, uh-oh, here comes a migraine. And then the migraine would completely, like a train going off the tracks, derail me.
yep,
And then you have a few days coming back where you're like, okay, I'm on board again.
yep.
Derailed again, kind of thing. And it was really hard until I hit menopause. So I'm 55 and the
Mhm.
headache stopped. I
Mm,
get one every once in a while, but not like that. Those were
yep,
cry, darkness, things on your eyes,
yep.
terrible headaches, and nothing worked.
Mm.
Probably hormonal migraines type things.
I- I'm so glad that they've stopped. I think that it's really, I mean, there's so many people have so many different things that bug
Yeah,
them and bother them. And what I've learned is when it's really, really tough, I I'll give you the example. When I was going through my pulmonary embolism, I'm lying in the emergency room, dying, literally, and I just said, "Okay, body, you and I, we're a team. We're
yeah,
a team. You and I need to get together right now, and we need to do whatever we can to get through this period of time." And then I had this insight to breathe really slowly. And for those of you who don't know, a pulmonary embolism is blood clots in your lung. And so my breathing was changing. And I because I'm a swimmer and a singer, I just naturally slowed my breathing, so it made it easier. But it really did help when I said, "Hey, body, we're a team." And that allowed me to think quietly, think slowly, to be able to say, "Okay, what can I do in this moment?" Because I can't take it away yet. And thankfully, they did take it away. They got me into emergency surgery. But those situations when we're really upset about what's happening to us physically, it's super important to calm down
yeah,
and to become a partner with your body.
yeah. Instead of fighting it, because there's moments where, like, you really can. A lot of self-hatred can come in there if you let it.
Oh yeah.
You can really have a good on verbal war in your head with yourself.
Yeah.
That like the self-hatred creeps in, especially if you look at somebody else doing something that you really want to do, or they're super vibrant, or they're moving better, or they're having a better day, or whatever it is, because we're all guilty of that, of going through the TikTok feed or
Oh
watching TV and everybody looks perfect and all
yeah.
this stuff, and you're sitting there suffering, and it's just a brew, like this little toxic brew of hatred that is festering.
Yeah. It's real easy to start feeling like it's our fault
Yeah.
when we have health issues. And that was one of the things with my friend yesterday is she inherited this stuff. She's in super good health. She treats herself so well and her body so well. And some things just are beyond our control.
Yeah.
I remember there was a famous runner, and I can't remember his name, who died when I was a teenager. And he was a marathon runner in phenomenal shape, and he died from a heart condition.
Yeah.
And everybody went, "What?" The
Yeah.
guy didn't have a bone, he was skin and bones basically, but he died of a heart condition. So
Wow.
I think all of us need to just give ourselves grace, and whatever it is our body needs attention for, That's what it is. It's as simple as that. It's saying, okay, sometimes it's more serious and it takes more of your attention. Like, when I had the embolism and when you were having life-threatening conditions from food allergy, sometimes you're fighting for your life, but still it's the same thing. Become a team with your body. And I, this morning when I was feeling sorry for myself over having some pain, I was like, okay, body, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you peace. Sending you love. I'm sending you peace. I'm sending you good vibes, whatever energy I can to just say, we're in this together. Tell me what you need. And I just don't think people slow down long enough to do that.
Pause, that's the no time factor of taking care of yourself. It feels like, and I'm guilty of this in moments too, your health sometimes feels like it's the very last thing that you pay attention to.
Mm.
You're busy doing everything for everybody else or everything else for yourself that might pay a bill or is work related or something other than like mandatory health something every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. I made a promise to myself this year because I'm guilty of doing that. I'll stray from myself and have to come back because I'm busy doing something. And really what I need to do is the appointment needs to be with myself in the morning at like 10 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. And that's the moment where I should like regroup, get my exercise in, do everything, and then go on with my day. And sometimes it's just too cozy when it's 50 degrees outside. And I'm like, I don't really want to get up and do all that kind of thing. So we get kind of lazy and then we stray further and then we're like, okay. And eventually you kind of put your foot down or life puts its foot down on you and says, look, we got to get under control now and do that. But I don't know that everybody puts their health as the very first thing. I think we tend to probably put our health and sometimes ourselves even as the very last thing that we're going to take care of, especially as women, especially as mothers, wives, and everything. We're taking care of everybody else first. And that self-care, you had a really nice word for it, that like self-care, self-compassion needs to factor in.
Absolutely. And the thing is with the body, that the body will give you a warning sign.
Yeah.
And gives you a lot of warning signs. And it's a matter of when are you going to listen? Because it'll up the ante until you do. And I was writing a blog this morning and I was thinking, it's kind of like if you stick your finger in a socket, it's going to hurt like hell.
Yeah.
So don't, it's like, listen, when your body starts to give you the signals, don't just keep your finger in the socket and think it's going to stop hurting. Your body isn't going to give up on you if you don't, unless you give up on it.
That's a good point. So we were having a chat about water.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have had extensive chats about water over the years we've known each other. Some people are water drinkers and other people just aren't. And I started, after our conversation, I kind of was looking around at what we were doing. I asked a couple of people if they like to drink water, and I ran into somebody else who just absolutely hates to drink water. And I'm like, you guys are a little match. And I'll drink water, but it's funny because in the wintertime, if it's ice water, like I cannot have ice in it, or I just am like chilled to the bone. I'm like this going, oh, I'm so cold. That kind of thing. But water is so vital, and none of us maybe drink enough. I don't know.
Well, I think too, as you get older as a woman, you need to drink more water because our whole feminine biology requires it more to keep yourself moving right. And I mean, I'm not going to get into really big details here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And, but it's a challenge because you and I are both like life coaches and therapists, and we're sitting with people, and you drink a lot of water. Well, there's an impact of that. And so what do you do when you've got to pee and you're sitting with someone and, what do you do? And so you got to be careful and time it. And that's always been one issue for me that I always have to be very careful about because I'm a therapist,
We're all confiding here in our listeners here. Somebody told Katie over the weekend that she needs to go to the bathroom at least 10 times a day or something. And Katie's like, "Oh, great. Yeah, that ought to be fun." And I'm sitting over there laughing, going, "Yeah, that's about it, maybe more." And then I'm thinking of like all the trips we both take and how, I
Right.
hate being that, like, I will drink all the water in the world before a trip so that
Yep.
I get in the car and don't have to be the one that has to be like, "I gotta stop," kind of thing. Every, whatever it is,
Oh,
it's
yeah. Oh,
annoying.
yeah, we have to map out the rest areas along the way, and as you get older, that becomes more important for both of us, not just for me.
It's super
So,
fun
yeah, I mean, really, seriously, guys, when you get older, this is one of the things you've got to look forward to is you map out the rest areas when you travel.
when we travel.
Just simple and
But,
just
and who likes going to the bathroom on a bus or airplane
oh, yeah,
in
well, you get
public
over it.
or anything? It's like, just, I'd rather just not. I'd rather dehydrate than
Yep.
that. Yeah,
You get over it, trust me, you
Yeah, I
get over
know.
it.
I know. But, so at least we kind of work from home and stuff like that. So it's not that bad, but
Right.
it's so annoying. And
Yeah,
that amount of water, it's usually like your body weight cut
yeah.
in half in ounces or something like that. And it's, it's enough water and it's incentive to lose weight. So the amount of water, no, I'm just kidding. So the amount goes lower. But what do you think about, like, let's talk about health for a minute. And again, we're not health coaches here, but we are real life people. And if you want to type in the comments some health tip you have, that'd be pretty awesome because people have them. But what do you think about water, food, and exercise? And then factor in, aside from that, like mind like mind reset, maybe something else other than, because everybody thinks water, food, exercise, and they forget, all the mind things, the
Oh,
meditation,
oh,
the
the mind is
yeah.
so huge. And the thing that I've learned that really helps me is that I may do really well in one of those categories one day and not so well the next day, but I start every day new. I have this great saying of make today better than yesterday, which means, okay, today I just had all my cooked vegetables with my eggs and goody on me. And I've been drinking my water and I've been doing those and I'll go hop on my treadmill. And yeah, today is a good day. I've got it right. I've been doing it right. Well, tomorrow might be different. And that's okay. That's the thing is everybody gets derailed when they don't do it the way they want to do it every day. You're not going to do it. Well, some people do. Bless their hearts.
Yeah, I love you guys, but
Most people don't have that luxury. That life happens and
yeah,
it throws your schedule and or you
especially
have
the little kids, like,
oh yeah,
them being home or them being sick
yeah,
or the school calling or whatever it is,
yeah.
that'll quickly derail you. Yeah, like on my end, somebody brought in a bag of red licorice. I'm like, oh no, there goes the diet. Red licorice.
Yeah, or I remember when Callie was growing up, I'd sign up for exercise classes and well, that shot to heck because her calendar was like taking her to dance and taking her here and taking her there. And I never got to do stuff like that because it never fit in my schedule. So you just have to give yourself grace and do the best you can. And every day start over and try to do better.
Yeah, no, I love that. What do you think? Okay, so we're the Percolate people. I've coined us that, the Percolate people. So we're going to have Percolate Health this
Mhm.
week. We're going to have people percolate health. So what would we like people to do as we talk about percolating health? I mean, is it as easy as saying in the mirror or whatever to yourself a bunch of times, I am healthy. I am healthy. Does that work, do you think?
Absolutely, that helps for sure. Affirmations are very, very powerful. But I also want people to ask themselves the question, and I'm a big fan of baby steps. I call
Yeah,
them baby
you
steps.
do. You are, yeah.
And I want people to ask themselves, if there's one area of health that I would like to improve. Like for me, it's my goal for 2025 is to be pain-free. That's a goal. I might get there 20% of the time, 30, who knows, but that's my goal. So pick what it is for you, one thing, and then what are the baby steps you can take? Because it takes 30 days to break a habit.
Yeah.
So, and form a new one. So be gentle with yourself around one thing, baby steps with one thing. And
Yeah.
I think
Like a
that,
big goal, like a big notion. Like, let's say I said I would like to be in the best shape of my life at age 55 for 2025, going into 56. So to
Mhm.
me, I break that down and I think, okay, well, that's going to mean some changes to food, water, exercise,
Mhm.
mindsets there. It's probably more the consistency
Mhm.
based on maybe the weather or the way I'm feeling or whatever. If
Mhm.
work gets that kind of thing. So the consistency for me could be. So take one of those areas.
Yep.
And we talked about this in Percolate, and we talked about this in our books and on Best Ever
Yeah.
Unit. But what you mean is to like, so take water, for example, drink the right amount of water for 30 days in a row, and
Yep.
you've got a habit that's starting to form.
Right.
What I sometimes do with people is at the 30-day mark, I'm like, great job. Even if you had to reset in those 30 days, you don't have to set all over again. Just keep going. If
Right.
you have a bad day or a bobble, keep going. It's 30 days.
Right.
Um, and then at the end of the 30 days, you could maybe even introduce a new habit. Uh,
Mhm.
start a second one and keep the first one going. So you have two things working. By the end of 90 days, if you do that, you've made some pretty major changes that were like tiny shifts.
Right. The little things can really matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, my doing 10 glasses of water a day is going to be huge for me. And get out of my way when I'm making my way to the bathroom. But it's what I need to do to decrease my pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'm you guys are all witnesses for me right now.
Accountability. We are your accountability
Here's
partners.
my accountability partners that I'm going to be peeing 10 times a day. Okay.
We feel the check in on that, Katie. Just check it on you,
Yeah.
Katie. What you can do on Instagram. You can do like Instagram stories with Count Dracula, like 1, 2. The number of the day is 10. Something funny. But
Or, or
I'll
excuse me.
follow you on Instagram for your updates of your counting. Oh boy, that's pretty funny. We don't need a live cam or anything though. We just need.
No, please no. But that's real life. That's real
Very
aging.
much real life.
That's very much real life, and it's real aging, and it's my real life. And everybody else has their stuff. Some people have chronic other things, and so I think like that conversation with my friend yesterday said was, what can we do? That's the question to always ask yourself. What can I do? Not focusing on what you no longer can do, but what can I still do? And what do I want to do? And what do I need to do? Those are really important questions related to health and anything.
Yeah.
And graceful aging is all about those changes that happen, being able to ask yourself, okay, what's my baby step forward? What do I need?
Yeah, I was having my pamper day at the spa yesterday, getting my hair done, and I had to switch to a new hairdresser because the other lady left, and she was a hi Kelly. She was a blonde, just like me, about my height, same exact age. I think she had a year or two under me, but general just really good shape. Nails done, hair done, everything done, and I'm like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I walk."
Yep.
Because I thought I judged her.
Yeah.
And I said, you're so in shape. You seem like a runner. And she goes, oh, God, I hate running. I'm like, yeah, we're kindred sisters because I hate running too. And I can honestly use the word hate there. But she walked. She said, walking is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you walking, like walking, running? She's like, no, just walking.
Yeah.
And then she said she does bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bar is great for you.
Yeah,
And
I love that.
yeah, I had to adjust because I was during COVID, I started using a rowing machine and I love it. Love, love, love rowing. It's really therapeutic. It's very soothing. But after the embolism, I'm like, can't do that now. And so I have to adjust now to doing walking on a treadmill when it's crappy out. Right now, it's not crappy, but
Well, we get thrown for a loop when it's not summer, and I get thrown for a loop when there's no pool open.
Yeah.
because all summer long I'm swimming and I feel like I'm getting my exercise in an easy way that isn't annoying to me.
Yep.
Not braving ice or the wind or the rain or the whatever it is to walk. So I have a treadmill. I think treadmills are so boring though. I just want to be out swimming.
I know. I
And
just want to be outside.
I
But
would joke all summer long with the kids. I'm like, wonder what it would cost to enclose this,
yeah,
or have like like a sports retractable dome over it, so
yeah,
that in the summertime it's open and in the wintertime it's closed and you're swimming and it's a fortune. But little goals. But yeah, no, I get thrown for a loop when the pool is out because I'm out there. I'll do like water aerobics almost out in the pool. And
yeah.
then you're not in a class with a cap on and in your swimming suit in front of everybody and all that stuff that I just don't love.
Right. Yeah. I I have the problem where too many people know me.
That too. It's
And
like, hi.
stand having somebody buck naked come up to me and start talking to me as if I'm their therapist in a pool in a locker room. So
Yeah.
I actually have to go to a place further away. And
Yeah, that's funny. That happened to me at the Planet Fitness in Falmouth the last time I went. I got my hair on top of my head, no makeup on, and everything like that. And somebody's like, "You're the author of that book, the Change Cut. Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like,
yeah.
"Yes." Do you say no? I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Can you Photoshop it? Can you make me look 15 pounds thinner? I don't know, kind of thing." And that was bizarre. And though it's a cute problem to have.
Yeah.
And it was cute in the moment. I was grateful and all that stuff. But in my head, I had 1,000 things playing. I'm like, sure, whatever. But
Yeah. But if anybody
whatever, don't post it, whatever. I don't know.
But if anybody who knows me
Yeah.
is listening to this, please don't come up to me buck naked in the locker rooms. It's just not comfortable. Sorry. I can't have an intimate conversation when you're both flying. I just can't.
That's really funny, actually. So let me tell you about my day. Oh, that's hilarious.
You're not serious. Yes,
I know it happens. Yeah, I get it. I get it completely. Yeah.
it's like once a therapist, always a therapist, no matter where you are. It's really
Track
fun.
me down to tell you everything.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know. I hear you. So what else? What else have we got? We said that we were always going to talk about our books on these. Just to remind people that we're, I wouldn't call us starving authors, but
well, I had a really beautiful moment this week. My one of my dear friends who lost her mom posted that she read my book after her mom died and that how much it really meant to her. And really, when you write a book, folks, that's why you write a book. You write a book because you want people to be improved by the book. You want their life to get easier. You want their best self to come through from the book. And so I'm really proud of that. That is something that if you know of anybody who's struggling with loss or change or transition, that's what my books are about. And my book is about. And I love the fact that people are being helped by it. And just like yours, I mean, Elizabeth, your books too, people are changing their lives because of your guidebooks. And I think that's what I want people to recognize around us being authors is like, it's really, we want all that work to matter.
Yeah.
We want to help we've got wisdom in these books that aren't all ours. It's also other people's wisdom. In my book, there's really inspiring stories. In Elizabeth books, there are inspiring stories. We want that wisdom to get out there because that's why we did it, folks. That's why we did it. And there's no other reason you write a book. You don't write a book other than to help other people get your story.
This type of book. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was actually, I told you, that I was going to read your book word by word, which slows me down in my reading because sometimes I'm a fast reader and I kind of get the gist of it and things like that. So I'm back reading it word by word actually, and like marking things and stuff like that this time around. I have to do that sometimes with books. They go through 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
But there's a bunch of sentences in here. First of all, I want to talk to you about bullying, if you don't mind. If it's a bad topic, let me know. It's in here though, so you know.
No.
You know, you and I share. I've been bullied as a kid and as an adult, both. You know, just funky moments where people do really, really mean things. But you've got quite a bullying story in here.
Yeah, I do. I was followed home from school with them throwing rocks at me, and they didn't hit me.
Thank God.
They threw them around me, but they terrified me, and it was a few miles home.
Yeah.
And I just really, what I learned from that is I kept a focus on peace the whole time. I kept just honoring my belief that love and peace are most important. And I kept just kind of focusing on that so I wouldn't get scared.
Yeah.
And I think that when bullying happens, obviously you don't want to put yourself in a scary situation where you're at risk. That's absolutely number one. But I learned pretty quickly that they were not going to hurt me because they didn't. They could have, but they didn't. So I instead, to get through that period of time, I just held this vision of love and kindness. And that helped me, like, just like when I talked about with my health scare, if you breathe into love and kindness, you'd be surprised how much you can get through even the toughest situation. It really does help for your mind, your body, your spirits, and your emotions to come together. Yeah. And of course, it also didn't hurt that my mother knew about it, and she went to the principal and raised bloody hell.
Yeah.
But that happens the flip as well. When that happens, then it's like you get the retribution too.
Yeah. Now, let me take a moment here though and tie. This is going to be a stretch, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tie these moments, if I can, from childhood anything into health today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's super connected.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the things that we do as an adult are this or that from this or that. That may be healed, might be unhealed, it might be triggered, it might be this or that. But you know, there's a moment in here. Can I read from this? Is that okay?
Sure.
There's a moment in here where you talk about Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was growing up in a period of time where I was really being bullied, being put down. I was heavy. I felt badly about myself. I was constantly being ridiculed. And I just turned to chocolate because it was that endorphin.
Right.
And now I know that I had insulin resistance because I actually went to the Joslin Clinic when I was 15, and they said, "Oh, you have slow insulin." Well, they didn't know what that was back then. Well, now I do. Well, of course I was craving chocolate and sugar because my insulin was really slow, and so I never got full. So there was a combination of an emotional need to nurture myself and also this physical need that I was satisfying. Wow. So my health was definitely impacted by that and by the inflammation that probably happened. And then, of course, I developed endometriosis, and that story continues way into infertility and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it can really impact your body when you go through stressful, difficult, traumatic moments, because the body remembers. The body remembers. And for me, as I was writing the book, I was like, oh, wow, this is really awful.
You're like chocolate. Yeah, no,
interesting. I didn't because I was healed.
I know.
But I think that that's really important for people to recognize, that your body will give you these signals. And it's not always because you don't have the willpower. Sometimes it has nothing to do with willpower. It has to do with your body has something biochemically going on that when you're in an emotional stress situation, you're not as able to control it.
Yeah.
So that's where I learned from writing the book to give myself grace, that sometimes things are harder to do. And when you're in physical pain, it's really hard to exercise.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is. And it is. And I've been there too, and I get it. And yeah, no.
Yeah. So there's definitely a body, mind, and
Percolate some health today for everybody.
yeah.
Health, wellness, and well-being for everybody this week.
Mm.
And I hope, I know we're going to go here in a minute, but I hope conversations like this that are real, even rambly at moments, it's not, we don't script these things. We just are getting on here and kind of talking about what we feel like talking about and stuff. But I hope it resonates with people. And people have that moment where they're like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. That's
Right.
really what I want. I don't like that people feel alone. It really bothers me a lot. I'm like, I don't want people to feel alone. You've definitely got us. So comment or call us or
Yeah. And we're trying to be real here, that we have physical and health issues that we combat every day. And so you do too. And honor that. Talk about it with us, talk about it with others, but own it.
Yeah. And in the food allergy community, if you're watching this, I'm right here. I have life-threatening food allergies. I have 4 life-threatening food allergies on board. So I have anaphylaxis to peanut, tree nut, fish, and shellfish. And I have a medic alert on. And I remember when somebody first suggested I wear a medic alert, I'm like, I'm not putting a label on me of something wrong. I remember I thought I was going to get fired from my job if somebody saw it. So I would put it in my pocket, or I would wear it around my neck and hide it. And people are like, you don't understand. Like, if something happens to you, the emergency teams are trained to like see that and flip it over and call and all these things. I'm like, oh, I get it. So it's life-saving, huh? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how people want to. My point is, people want to hide what's wrong.
Right. They do.
And people hide. Oh, go ahead. Yep. Sorry.
Well, what I was going to say is they used to be butt ugly, but hey, now they're really pretty. So, we can.
Oh, we're medic alert.
Yeah, we have our medical alert bracelets, and boy, that's enough talk about aging. But it's why hide it, and why? I mean, life is really important. And those things matter. And why take the 10 minutes away from your good health care treatment by not having this and not letting them see it when you're not able to articulate it?
Like, let's hold it up one more time. Here's our medic alerts.
Okay. Yeah. Mine's blue.
Yeah. Yeah. So I helped Medic Alert design the ones for kids years, 1,000 years ago now. Because kids needed them different than these. They needed bands and things like that. So I helped with that. But let me ask you a question. Take a look at us. Just everybody take a look at us. Can you tell anything? I'm going to use the word wrong for lack of a better thing. Can you tell that we have anything going on?
Yeah.
I might have 10 pounds on me or whatever. Don't go there. Somebody will be like, yes, you need to lose weight. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no. But I mean, can you tell there's a chronic health issue going on?
Yeah. No,
for the most part.
Yeah,
No, you cannot. So unless so my point is that, take a pause around people and enact kindness and pause and grace and compassion and all those things that we talk about with people, because you have absolutely no idea what's going on in the background.
Right.
Of a human being's life and what they're going through, what they're suffering through, what they're trying to work on. It goes on and on.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. And I think that we need to talk about our health conditions. And, you mentioned it's food allergies. I write a lot in my book about my infertility and being part of that club that I never wanted to be part of. Anybody out there who wants to talk about that, that's a very hard thing when your body won't do what you want it to do and everyone else around you is having children. And so sometimes it can feel extremely lonely. So yeah, our bodies are our team. We're teams, and our teammates don't always give us what we want.
I got to tell you, I had the cutest experience with our neighborhood. So we had a neighborhood potluck 2 weekends ago, and
Mhm.
everybody brought food. And our
Wow.
neighborhood was so cool. They labeled everything for
Yeah.
me, like, "Don't eat this. This is good to go. Have it all day long."
Yep.
This, I mean, they wrote the ingredients down. They did it. Like, that is so sweet. And it was for another person too, but it was so thoughtful and so kind. And I tell you, there were 2 new neighbors here, and they're people who labeled things and stuff like that. And that kind of "are you okay"edness
Mm,
meant
mm,
something to me,
mm.
because usually I feel like a goofball. Usually I feel like a fish out of water when you put a bunch of people around me and food, and I'm like, "Well, I can't eat anything." Especially
Yeah.
if it's baked goods or made by other people. I'm like, "I'm not risking it." And so
Yeah.
I feel really socially awkward. So that was so cool.
Yeah, it is. And then those kinds of things matter. They really do. I mean, I'm part of a women's group, and I can't stand up very long because of what happened in my leg. And so, like right now, I have my foot on a stool, and I have to put my foot on a stool. And these women are so great. They make sure that I have a pillow on it, and they're so nurturing around, well, where's your stool? We want to make sure that you stay there. And no, we're not going to stand up. We're going to honor. So yeah, pay attention, everybody. Pay
Yeah,
attention.
to
Just
other people's health.
other people's health, your own. Start with you and model for other people taking care of your health and
Yeah.
doing the crazy, stupid, creative things you need to do. If you need to, I'm gluten free. I need to bring my own food sometimes, because you do.
Yeah.
So do it. That's our point. Do what you need to do.
Love it. All right. Anything else? So we got uplifting. I think the one I'm going to hold up this week is the Change Guidebook. And
Yeah. Yep.
just hold this one up. So we have these 2 books that we would love for you to find. Here they are: Uplifting and the Change Guidebook. They go hand in hand. We always talk about change and success and gratitude. And you are such a beautiful writer. Just so everybody knows, like, I need editors and things like that. Katie is one of the most beautiful writers. And so it's been fun to go through your book word by word.
Mm.
And, and we're writing together again. So I'm like, there you are, kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
eloquently put. But I love this. The challenges served as catalysts for their growth in what they viewed as better or more authentic versions of themselves.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some they learn to leverage loss and champion change by connecting consciously or unconsciously, choosing to reflect. Where are you? No, that scared me. I'm like, fire alarm. Yeah, no. Choosing to reflect, reassess, redefine, or recreate some or many aspects of their lives.
Yeah.
How they listened. There was a choice point when they took time to address their mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual messages and change their mindset. They lifted themselves up. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, it is. Yes. Lift yourself up with your health and then lift others.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. Katie, as always, lovely to see you and hear from you.
Everyone be well. Be well. Be well.
Percolate health. Percolate health.
Percolate health. Absolute.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.